Hi, this is Dr. Mia Luth, and it is start date 11/3/2022. It's 12:55 p.m. Eastern Seaboard, Earth, whatever shape you think it's in or it is. And I did go to my doctor's appointment, which was good. No worries there. And I got a couple things organized. I have some administrative fun to do, which will help me out a little too. Um, but I will try again. Put together super maxes, and a special habitat. Anyway, I this. I don't know. I don't want to do that. This. They're similar to the off-white ones that you can get at some $1.25 trees plus tax in my state. But this is another thing I got from Chime. It was like 98 cents, I think. And it is essentially the same thing, but the color is different, and the legs are shorter. So this is meant mostly for. Oops. This is meant mostly for. Yes, this is also a coping skill that I'm doing right now. Exhibiting. If I can get it in. Yeah, so I don't really need a lot of any kind of makeup or a bunch of stuff, but it's just the basics sometimes I have around. Oops. So, okay, almost. I wonder why this one. There we go. So, it's basically um, meant for makeup things. And I don't have anything to put this on. Oh well. Yeah, like this. This was the one thing that some of them, the things you might want to put, but the ones that you can, it's like a neat little El Cheapo organizer. And I have one also that's larger. This this is too small. This is another one that has to go somewhere else. But um, I have another one that's larger for paintbrushes. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that it was short enough for some. So, but I have a plan for the other stuff anyway. Because some people like to be organized, and sometimes you can do it on the cheap. So it'll help a little. Maybe I shouldn't put them right now. Anyway, let me finish this up. Alright, I don't need that in there. Some of these were free samples. It's like, I don't know if I ordered something, some places, right? So it seems like makeup free samples were a good idea. Let me see. Yeah, most of this can't go. But for some brushes and I did snip off some dead ends. I'm gonna put, I forget what it's called, but something on the end and recondition. Without washing, either today or tomorrow. And then snip off some of my dead ends. This actually is the one thing I can say. This is from the $1.25 tree. Okay. And I will say that for hair scissors that you want to use to cut hair that are sharp enough, probably not the $1.25 tree, because like they dull very, very quickly. And so they're basically, but since I only do it every so often, I mean, then you can use them for other things, but it's not as good for hair. So, anyway, there we go. But I also have this. It was a donated candle. There was, old candle wax in there. So, and I've got a couple of them. But I like the fact that I can just kind of like pick and reach. So, and also if my hands aren't working right all the time, it's easier to just pick a singular one out. And see, my eyebrows, I've never really given a crap. But at some point, I decided to give a little bit of a crap. And so, yeah, usually I just do. Oh, I already trimmed one. I can't, but I'm not, all up into the brow shaping. But since I have to be in the house, I thought this might be something new, interesting to do. All the things I had never heard of before in the makeup. New you. Oh, is this? Yes, it is. Elf. This was one on sale. I can't decide. Sometimes, this, I don't know if pink is for me. It's hard to tell. But I do actually like cream lipstick. If it's going to be applied in this way, like with lipstick, the best. But this was on sale. So flirtatious. And then, if I get bored, I can just do like weird stuff. Or if my hand's not working right, I can have a chuckle because, hey, how you guys doing? It's not too bad, I guess. I mean, I didn't put a lot on it, but I can also add, build up. So my skin tone is very different from the way it used to be. So I had a healthier skin tone. Well, it was, yeah, it was healthier, more, a little darker and olive kind of. So the kind of colors that you used to be able to wear are different. Yeah, I'm definitely way more fair skin. I'm not gonna try it on, but it was in. I just happened to catch a couple sales. Although these two look very. Oh no, I don't know. Do some face painting. I get bored. You know what I mean? All right. But this thing for 98 cents, not that bad. It also is easier for me to hold and won't break like glass. Oh yeah, I have other stuff. Oh, jeez. Okay, so what was I gonna say? I had to figure out what to do with some things, but I did get a good bit into the closet. Supermax! Trying to figure out how to divide space. Now I know where Supermax is going to go. He's not as interested in biting me anymore. But I got to figure out how to get his wheel working. And so I was told so that I could check the light bulb. Uh, that one of the maintenance guys would bring up the 6-foot ladder and leave it. I don't think he's done that, but I'll see. But he may not remember, so this may be a few reminders away from me getting a ladder to check the light bulb. Because I'm not going to get on anything else. Yeah, I'm getting tired of being all bruised and beaten up all the time. Gotta be honest. But I did want to do one thing. Oh, I gotta call somebody for. Alright. I still might be too short. Let's see. Let me see. fine with that either. So, yeah. Now I just gotta wait for a ladder because I gotta check the bulbs for anything. Let's see. It's mostly sunny where I am. And I have a lot of things on my mind too. Just kind of spacing out for a hot second. See, now some people would not want a bouquet like this. See what I'm saying? But I would. So judging me, judging everywhere. I definitely have to do labs tomorrow, whether I like it or not. But if it really comes down to it and I have any issues sleeping, or I'll just, I don't know what I'll do. I guess I'll just tough it out. But it would be helpful. Home potassium checks. I have another reason why I spend a good bit sort of close to a hospital and other such things is because for some reason I have potassium issues, and some of it can be my meds, but I can't really change them. So, but I've had issues before, hyperkalemia, which I can get I can get serious pretty quickly. So, if I had a home, but I was looking online, and then I might look some other places. I mean, it's not totally impossible, but it's way too pricey for me. So that's another reason. So I'm going to labs all the time. Right. Okay, well, I gotta check this and I gotta check that, and I gotta go do the check on this. And okay, more. All right. No, use this arm. It's the only one. It's gonna help you. The other one's tapped out. So that's fun. I suppose that I will at some point do some very quiet. I swear I don't have investments with you people. But if I do, huh, uh, I have to do some searching out for a bit of inheritance that should be coming to me. Um, but there's only so much give a shit I really have about that. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea. And I know people say, well, you can pay people. I'm like, no, not right now. I can't. And the people who try to sell me things, it's just like, sometimes it's like you just want to stop. I'm like, no, no, but no, because like, it just I'm half tempted. Everybody who walks near me, I'm poor, and then maybe they will try and sell me. It's like a waste of time. You're wasting your time here. But legal crap is just right, and I'm not even sure because I have form of amnesia, which is actually not so bad. I mean, things are starting to kind of shake loose, but that's also not so good either. So, Elton people, Maryland, Elton, Maryland, right? Arise from the depths. Oh my. Yeah, I might just stay here. I told you, I'm tired, so I might be able to do a cat nap soon. Although I say that, um, but at least I figured out that a change in my muscle relaxers. I'll keep that in mind. New dating. I don't date online. Not. I don't care. Just try a lot and masturbate, but I won't date online anymore. Um, just tired. Yeah, like motivate. Trying to figure out my seating situation. What's the most comfortable? I'm. I, um. Yeah, I think maybe try and save up or look around for something when there's Max. All right, I gotta help Max out. um, but yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Who cares? Something. Rather, I gotta help Max, but I might just leave this up. So this light's on again. Uh, yeah, I might just leave this on in case I think of something. Oh, and I have been trying. I'm not sure what's going on with this. I thought it was the battery, so I charged the battery, and I don't really know why. I mean, it's just dead. So I'll try charging it again. It won't turn on at all. Um, but it's almost brand new. I mean, I only had it work, and it did say it was charging yesterday. So I don't know. I'll try charging somewhere else and see why this. But it hasn't been dropped, or besides, it's pretty solid state anyway. So I know it was charging, and it's on the on position on the menu. It should have. Let me try one other thing. This I'm familiar enough with that it should. This is not new, so I should have happened. Yep, don't know. So I'm gonna charge this another way and see what happens. Uh, yeah, I'm running out of electronics that work. Anyway, so I was going to um, extract files and maybe listen through them, um, but just have a clean, for if I dare try to do EVPs. But when it comes to me, is I don't ever have to really ask questions. Sometimes just anyway. Yes, I'm still creeped out. But I also now have a little cute little mini cafe, you know, breakfast. Nope, because I moved all my photography setup out of there. So, well, it does have that, but I can't use that. So that's the other thing. That should work too. I don't know why it have to be like that. I'm not quite sure. This doesn't technically make sense. Tiny mystery for right now. Um, yeah. Still have candles. Need to sell on Etsy. They'll last a while. And the kind of wax I use, they're container candles, so they're recyclable and they'll burn a long time. But the wax burns cleaner and longer, and it's more sustainable, and it holds scent better. So, uh, Creasesinger on Etsy. That'll be my YouTube um, handle too. I can do that. Um, so I'm just too tired to be like thinking and talking, and I don't feel like if I lay down, I'm gonna get sleep. But I did eat and took my meds, and lunar eclipse is coming. Full lunar eclipse. I haven't seen a full lunar eclipse in quite a while. So the good thing for me is the weather will be, yeah, sky careful will be what kind of does it. But the good thing where I am is, well, for one thing, I'm usually up at that point in time. Right, just walk outside. Hey, check it out. So it's early in the morning though. I have no idea about voting. I don't. It'll happen. That's all I know. I really don't want to get too involved with the shenanigans, but I'll vote. Then I'm used to. Like I thought, maybe I missed it because I don't know. Seems like everything shifted back a week. Who knows? Yeah, on the 8th, but and then the change in time that usually uh, will get me off kilter too sometimes. This change in time in the fall. Uh, but I'm already a little off kilter, so what difference does it make? There's so many movies I can think of that it's like my head is so and like older movies that are unique. That's what I'll say. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna leave this on. I never know. And I'll try not to scratch my ass on camera. Maybe I'll set you up with Max Cam. care of some laundry. Got my meds. What? In New City. In New City. I may put my Etsy shop on vacation instead of just closing it. Sort of still deciding, but because I have other things that I was doing anyway that I'm not quite sure what to do with them. So, I need one of these. We still have one of those stoplights, right? The corner where I live, that stops doing green light, yellow light, red light, and blinks at night. A lot of people wouldn't even know what I'm talking about, but some people would. All right, fun with detangling. I had a situation with a runaway bunch of ribbon. I could not properly wrangle lots of sharp objects. I'm still clearing things out, so basically no TV. I haven't listened to any music recently, the past few days, but that's because I'm clearing it all out. Just don't care. So I thought maybe there's a health home nurse that I can check in with. And I thought my neighbor said that she was going to stop and see her. I asked my neighbor to tell her to stop in, but nobody's done that. It's probably a little too late, so I guess that's not happening. But I'm going to have her try and help me schedule an appointment at Johns Hopkins Movement Disorder Clinic and schedule the ride because I think I can, through medical transportation, do that. It's just, I give a crap. Ran out, so I'm not trying real hard to get there, basically, so I have to. But at least I have that option, and then I have to. There's another procedure that I've been, COVID, like, or other things, but mostly COVID situations still happening. And so for a while it was elective, but now it would not be considered elective anymore. So just can get more fun surgery. So I might not. It's one thing. Last year we were like, yeah, but now like, It's not like I'm not motivated. But, my batteries are running out real quick here too. That's like 4 sets of these, and 2 of them were brand new. They just died very quickly. And I have several sets of lights, and one set was definitely, or 2 sets, definitely brand new batteries that I put in there. So I had those lights on. I mean, I tested them, the lights worked, and I didn't really run them after I tested them. But when I put them in my little to-do basket, they were working, and they weren't on the whole time. So, those batteries died very quickly. Yeah, this is. Oh, that's about $15 worth of batteries. Another reason I can't afford things sometimes. I mean, the rest of these need the little screw. Oh, and that's nicely stripped. Beauty. Beautiful. Yeah, well, I'll figure it out. I don't think I have replacements. I have to look. So that's that. I'm still kind of wondering. Right. I'll have to go back and look because I haven't had time yet today. I mean, I was able this morning to cut off my all night feed, black feed, and I didn't take a look. I really, what the hell? To me, it's kind of like extremely bizarre. But like at one point, I had my arm up. I don't know. Yes, but I felt like I was awake and conscious, but I had no idea I had my arm up. I could have been sleeping, but I have like, yep, had no idea. And when I looked at it, I was like, "What the hell am I? What's happening?" Like, yeah, but I've awakened before with like, I don't know, one leg up in the air. Well, kind of, but that it's like looking at it. I'm like, huh, have interesting things going on when I sleep. And that's the other thing. I was like, just like, it's the timing of it. I didn't think that I fell asleep at any point in time during it. But that one, I don't know, a little odd. So I'll put it to you this way. I usually do not ever spew negativity because that's just some people are sensitive like me, really sensitive. And so I do try. Sometimes I'll walk away from something and just not for a little, or I'll try. Some people say, well, don't, I'm like, no, because maybe they need to be talked to, and that's why they're being obnoxious. Maybe they need help, and that's why they're being obnoxious. See, people got a lot of advice about things, but I tend to, at my age, just thank you, but no thank you. Okay. Um, so, you know, so I try and clear out a good bit. Um, but I mean, sometimes it's why I've been in, the hospital here and there. Yeah, un- unfriendly, right? But some people in hospitals are kind of used to that. And then I kept saying, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like this. But the circumstances were what they were, so it's kind of like, I don't feel too bad. But people like to force it out when unfortunately you're not really understanding what happens when you do that in a healthy and safe way. So a lot of people are like that. It's I don't go around telling people it's a character flaw. I mean, I've heard so much crap. Yes. No wonder these people can't recover and get better. I mean, it's almost like you don't want them to, whoever you might be. So, um, because there's evidence and proof that most of that isn't really the case. And trying to make people feel like shit, or trying to make people feel like that the way they are is not entirely acceptable is has never once worked ever. It might seem like it's working at first, but anyway, my here I'll tell you what, I'm prejudiced against obnoxious assholes. It's basically the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? And they come in all shapes and colors and sizes, and right. But I am aware that sometimes they feel pressed and pressured, uh, and you know feel attacked, but yeah. So it's just human interaction is basically what's going on, but where that uh, extra loaded yuck is coming from. So I need tenants to know that, because I'm not gonna have people all freaking out of things that just it, that are maybe difficult to explain. So I'm more used to some more weird things, perhaps. Or if you're dyslexic like I am, it's wired. Yeah, I'm much better. Uh, using when I was younger, I started using mnemonic devices and visualization. Um, like yeah, so it was slow at first and a little frustrating, but once you get your brain going, I have realized the cause of severe dry mouth in my medications now. So we'll call it The only difference in my medications is that I took my as needed muscle relaxer. And yeah, I really do have my one of my brothers used to say some interesting things, but he was interesting, all right. And but he would sometimes say, "I'm so thirsty I couldn't spit dust." So now I can't not say that. I have dry mouth. I prefer that other people's families don't have less difficulty than mine, to be honest. Um, kind of how I feel. All right, I'm trying to get a second wind. My pain actually today. This is the other thing I'm gonna say is, unfortunately, what even state and local governments, you know, just looking at state and local governments, you need to understand is it is in a way for many of us. They, if we can't find some clever way to wheel and deal and use some ingenuity to get something that will help our health by yes, an immense amount, you know I mean, I don't usually, but I'm probably gonna have to wheel and deal for it. What's it called? I keep trying to lounge chair, lazy boy ottoman. The one that's got that can kick up my feet. But I think I'd probably do better than a flat bed because reflux for one thing. But I might stop tossing and turning, and if I'm on an angle, I don't get the what do you call it, sleep paralysis. So I mean, I know orthopedically that might be, but I'm sure there's ways around that. Um, yeah, that kind of thing. Um, just trying to even, I can put it on my personal wish list, but my personal wish list is basically filled with things. This is my personal need list. It's different. Uh, um, oh no, oh no, I gotta bend over. Where am I? My grab, where's my grabby stick? Oh, here we go. Whew. But today, there's definitely a difference. I feel better in some ways with the uh, newer muscle relaxer. So, and that is a relief. But when I was at my pain management, you know, I know doctors, nurses, sometimes they have to say things, make up your mind about. Keep trying it. Well, I recommend another round of nerve ablation. So basically, what that means is, they burn off your nerves. Yeah, you can feel that when it's happening. Yeah, unfortunately for me, with fibro, it's more intense pain. Okay, but it only lasts for like 3 months. So the last time I got one, I cried like a little sissy girl, and I made up my mind. It's not fucking worth it. So, but it did inspire me to go looking online and find certain concentrates and other things, natural things mostly, including some menthol, and some capsaicin and other, you know, types of anti-inflammatories and anti-allergies, the whatever anti-pain things. So I made this goop, and that goop, okay, works better than treatments that cost in whatever you think it costs. Think higher. That are horrible for me in every way, and only really last for 3 months. So, yay for smelling like a koala. The problem is, I think everybody understands that, if you think you're going to be a home chemist or whatever, all this stuff, messing with natural stuff and all that, okay? Here's a fact about straight concentrated. I bought menthol like crystals. Like, too much of that applied to the skin can kill you. I'm going to say that again. Too much, okay? Concentrated pure menthol, okay, when applied to the skin, can kill you dead. So always be aware of that stuff because it's just true. Make sure you're gonna do it. I mean, I did, of course. I measured and I certainly did not go over any. See what I'm saying? There are other types of natural products that you can buy from that. I mean, well, some people know some stuff's actually poisonous. They know this, but some of it can actually be used as medication. But you really do have to know what you're doing. Okay? But those who are just kind of guessing at it, that's not something you want to guess about. Okay? Because it is a true and real fact. So, it's anybody who made their own, muscle rub or anything, and you use, pure mentholate, menthol, I'll just say that. Yep. If you get too much concentrated in you through your skin, it can kill you. So it's why I mention this. It's not to scare anyone necessarily, but it is to say you really kind of do need to be more cautious, everybody and everything that you do. But that is why sometimes there's, you know, you go to the apothecary or your pharmacy, whatever, anybody, you know, um, or try and talk to somebody or triple check that, like, uh, more than one source that's not connected online. Okay, there are some things that you can get in natural stores and shit, but menthol is highly deadly, and I'm sure a lot of people did not know that when put on the skin at higher concentrations. So I'm glad that I know that. But I measured everything, and it was done that way, very cautiously. But that's why sometimes it's okay, have you know chemists and other people. Oh, they're just getting in my business. I understand where you're coming from, but you know, if somebody stops you from making something that's about to kill you, then you know that's a pretty good idea. So always be careful with certain things, especially home remedies, because some of them. But always know what you're dealing with. Always. So if you don't feel comfortable like experimenting, there's some places you can look for certain types of recipes for things. But always like check at least three different places to see. Yeah, because they could differ in what they're saying. But it's just something, I know some people know that straight out and wouldn't, but a lot of people don't. And something that can be completely harmless and innocuous in small amounts and actually helpful in healing. I mean, yeah, but that's the other thing is I can't be stuffed up really. It's a yep, they works for that too. Better breathing because of the mentholatum. But um that is one thing I know for sure. That's substance in quantity through the skin. So a lot of things are entered into the human body through the skin too. Um, you know, so I know homemade reddish, yes, especially people who are trying to be more, I don't know, kinder in their use of earth resources, right? Um, you, there's some things you have to be careful of. But menthol you can buy it. See, here's the thing: is it's not. Some are marked that way, but if they're not, you know that. Um, that's a common ingredient in a lot of pain relieving muscle stuff, and so companies and other sometimes right, but you know it's not something to experiment with and then put it on your skin. But since I know that, I'm not too passionate about it. But I'll just say that because there's things you can buy. Listen, you actually can overdose on John's wort. People have done that. So just be cautious. But this is what I'm saying to whoever, anybody sees it. A pain treatment that's just made me turn into like, yeah, sissy girl, tears and crying and my butt muscles clenching and everything. Like, oh my god, that is the other problem that you know people with fibro, many probably, but it's for me, it's true. So even with some topical pain, it's still burning my nerves. It hurts like feels like I'm on fire and I can't put it out. So that thousands of dollars. I don't know, but it's not cheap and hurts like hell and only lasts me 3 months, even though it's supposed to last six. Versus something that I probably some total, even with you know labor at a high rate, paid no more than $20 for it, and I have enough to last at least a year, and it'll stay that way good as long as I keep it refrigerated. So there are some ways. However, try to find somebody who's, you know, more wise in those ways before trying to, make your own at home sometimes. And they're reliable sources like people like, yeah, put the first thing is warning if you know what I mean. Um, so be careful about experimenting in your kitchen sometimes with things that are you might not think would be deadly through the skin. Um, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, my insurance company doesn't have to pay that. I don't have to be reduced to every which way kind of sissy girl. Oh, I admit it. Extra special sissy girl. And I don't feel bad about it though. That's not a bad thing. That's an absolute, yep, everyday normal reaction. But I think that some of this, the pain managements and pain specialists and the neurologists and the rheumatologists and anybody who has anything to do with, studying or learning or whatever about fibro, you know, I'm pretty sure that sometimes normal topical skin pain blockers are ineffective. And that's another reason why I can't take some shit. But that's something that could be fiber related. And I don't know who reports what kind of studies, what kind of anything. And would anybody know to report something like that? So, right? Because, um, we it puts a topical paint blocker, but it doesn't feel like that at all to me. Um, but there have been times when I've had pretty strong topical. So it might have to do with flares, but I think that the people who are interested in studying and learning about and possibilities that could be real and true for fibro patients, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, I've had it for long enough now. I've been to enough doctors that I don't think the topical pain med did a damn thing. Um, but that's a whole lot cheaper. My goop than going through that. So I know sometimes doctors will I recommend it and I recommend it, but uh, my call, man. And if I were to justify it to an insurance company, it's like, well, now you're not paying that. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, and you know, but at least going through the experience, just it it's just more and more, built up mental note kind of evidence to suggest that there is a likelihood that topical pain med doesn't always function the way it would normally for people with fibro. So, right, that's not a fake illness. And um, that just, I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why it hurts so bad for me, because just fibro flare up, my nerves are all over, and the topical stuff is not, does not function properly for someone in a fibro flare. I mean, I don't know, but Jesus, that hurts so bad. I'm wondering why God hates me, is what I'm saying. Now, I don't need anybody to actually try and explain to me. But it's that bad. So, again, I'll just say, yeah, I know, Badass Club. We have scars and we get back up after cars hit us. And I know a friend of mine I knew for a long time. And the story about when I fell off the silo in the middle of a thunderstorm and just popped right back up. But it was a good 20 something drop. All right. I but it's not, I'm not like made of unbreakable parts at all. And neither really or anybody else. Well, maybe some people got cool bionic arms and legs and stuff. But you know, that's why I kept saying to my pain management guy, like, everybody coming at me, do you people think I'm superhuman? Well, then somebody lied to you. Like, they bought into some kind of lie. Right? I mean, damn, man. Blood pressure cuffs, man. Like, does that hurt? So somebody is going to get a torture chamber. And I will keep searching until I find, right, who that somebody is going to get. Yeah. Trust me, I don't go like spewing out. No, I'm a precision kind of gal. Okay, that's not a reason. Generational curses. Not anymore. Can't happen in this world. I don't care how hard you try. I don't care what kind of weird concoction you drank and what 20 people made you feel like you know for sure. You're wrong. Okay. I'll also make this clear. Like I said, I'm not angry or too worried about my uh, compadre, Dr. Kelly. But I specifically made a 20-minute video to at least explain. And I understand trying to talk me through something different, but it's just when it's just like, yes, I know I checked, like, yes, I know I can, but you don't understand. But yes, things can touch you and hurt you, but yes, they can. And this time I can't close something. So I'm trying to just clear out everything, no TV, okay? And kind of keep my mind, all right? But no. So I didn't really want to be arguing or any other kind of things. It's just like, okay, I get this is what you'll see. Because, yeah, I mean, I need at least some people who might know about certain things who, right? I know an investigation had to have happened when it came to a certain box. It had to have, right? No doubt. Okay. And so, no, I haven't gone crazy. And I'm probably one of the sanest people around here. There's some other sane people around here. Hi, healthy man. But I am in sort of approaching this world at this moment and all human interaction as not only transitional, but still learning. And, you know, maybe somebody's been throwing the forgetfulness on people. I really don't know actively what, yes. So I don't worry about it too much because, oh, by the way, if anybody saw that go by, that's the cars. It's cars that are making, right. I mean, people have all sorts of different kind of like experiences and talents and understandings, so, and so I might not have used the best of language, but this is the place where I say for sure this is 21 and over, and I might cuss, but I'm not. I wasn't angry. It's just I needed like, yeah. It's like I can't re-explain everything on the phone, and also because I right sent out. You know, I have a few couple hockey connections who um interested in psi and you know cryptobiology and all those kind of things. But I certainly do not get too excited when like a lot of people are doing. Well, I don't want to step on anybody's joy. You understand? The people need to understand. But sometimes it's not because you want to step on their joy. Okay, it's you might want to put a wet blanket on them because right they or lit themselves on fire or didn't understand. Okay, you get it? Right? That can happen. It can happen easily, actually, especially in certain groups of people. Um, but in this case, for sure, I was not imagining activity in this house, and I need like extra support from people who are used to more weird and unusual because you know just suddenly, gratefully, um, I've gotten some help and kind of cleared out some things and just bam, like total shock. Just realized that I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe my brain wanted to protect me from it. A denial, puts it in my head, don't think about it, it's not really there kind of thing. I mean, that could be but the activities that were in a certain documentary very much resemble some of the activities that were happening to me. And I could barely leave my apartment. I can describe some of the activities in my apartment at the time. Well, one of them is a little weird, but there was no way. About this size, but it wasn't even see through. I mean, it was just dense light. So there was absolutely nothing you could reflect off of. And I even tried. Yep, I even tried a couple things, but I don't. Yeah, that would be. I would have to do some interesting mirror things. So it's about the size of this, and it was white. I was hanging there in my bathroom for a minute, and then took off. Didn't feel any. I mean, I didn't feel any kind of extra emotion one way or the other. So um, that's one incident that I know for sure it was an orb. I mean, there's no doubt. Um, it actually the thing that's stuck out, I guess, so I could kind of tell, even just by looking at it, was like it seemed to be its own light source. Was what was you see? What I mean, it wasn't like yeah, it just seemed to be its own very own light source. So that made it unique enough. But I mean, just looking at it, I knew, but I did check angle, but those activities were happening to me, and many other things. But that's an example, and it's too similar. But as far as I know, I don't know what the connection is, but that's kind of like hell a bit, gotta say, right? Um, but so I had to go to hospitals, doctors. They're all looking for clues to something that may be spiritual, and a lot of them didn't really want to listen to me. But I couldn't change that truth. I can't change that truth for anybody, or myself, for that matter. And I would very much like to do that, but I can't. I am a scientist, and I know how natural elements on Earth work. Okay, I may not be some expert on something, right? Because yeah, I mean, but my familiarity is more with organic. But you know, the, I like studying this earth. I like being in it. I like looking at it. And talking to people. Um, but energetically, there are absolute positively ways to energetically harm somebody, and all you have to do is check out some serious Asian martial arts masters to know that's the case. Can actually be used as a weapon. Energy, sound, which is concerning to me. People can't control themselves. Somebody thinks they're El Supremo. Uh, oh, my order's here, and I gotta go hang out and get my laundry out. Probably leave this up again. But so I might get a little snippy, and I might, but number one, I've had no choice but to make command decisions. And sometimes those command decisions are based on crappy information that someone gave you. That happens to everybody too, who make command decisions anyway. So I'm not really a hostile person, but it is, as I was saying, it seems like, you know, every so often something that is not me, you understand? I don't have multiple personal. I've checked all this. I don't have DID. Everybody needs to understand. Been in and out of hospitals, like I can't do it anymore. All right, you can't check and check and check, recheck anymore. All right, some of this is not typical human behavior. It isn't typical for a human to have webbing around here. Yeah. And some of the things that happen, like I can't go through that again. I can't. When you try to explain to people, like, help me, but why would anybody know really? Just on average, 95% of human population wouldn't really know or even think to do it. Right. And because I pick up angel sign, and because, like, I have such empathy, and because I'm, well, the way I am, and I happen to be open so that I could help someone. And I guess something else entered the picture that I didn't know or see or any other kind of thing. So, but I was maneuvered painfully numerous times. And so, truth, straight out, my biggest issue right now is behaviors that were seen in a documentary about a certain box that's meant to imprison something. All all that and a whole bunch more was happening to me. And that's why I ended up my apartment. Yeah, after a while, I mean, days like that. Just like this. I'd shift my feet. I wouldn't pee or poop or eat or drink. I, and then I tried to reach out. I went to the closest, like, church I could find, right? And I went to go pray with, I can't remember what his name is, Father. I'm not sure. And I didn't really mention anything, but maybe, while we were praying, like, maybe we might pick up something, like, and I tried every method that I know of that some people might call light work, or, yeah, but others might differentiate and say holy light work, because some people get like that because they've been burned so badly and hurt so badly that they just refuse to do it any other way. And so people have to have more patience with each other on planet Earth. And I know that's hard. That's one reason I don't usually do candle magic. This is my point. It's like I know Christians, take pitchforks. It's what I didn't say I was your enemy. Who said I was your enemy? I happen to be just very familiar with elements of this earth and how they work because I walk in them and I study them and I just let them talk to me instead of me trying to tell them how to be. So I've been in good tune with angelic signals, signs. Some people may not even know what I'm talking about, and that's okay. But there are other people who are kind of like me. It's not anything unusual. Do you know what I mean? But to you know someone else like 4,000 miles away from me, like, what the hell is this? Why? You see? So just trust and love, and that covers everybody. Um, I'm a scientist. I kind of like being like that. It's just that a lot of individuals, when the visualization, at least in the U.S., when you hear the term science, is speakers on mathematics, and that's not doesn't even cover it. So, but empirical thinking and trying to set up something experimentally that was maybe unseen or thought content that could be possibly uh, psychokinetic telepathy. Trying to you would need to control the entire environment, as in every kind of particle that could, in a way. So, in theory, an experiment could easily be done, but in practice, on the other hand, that's a different story. Okay, but telepathy is provable by way of scientific thinking and reasoning. And there are ways to put together repeatable, okay. Um, but I am not saying that all humans are capable. And what I'm saying is there are also people who, well, you know, it is the dimensions, sacred geometry, fourth dimension. And some are absolutely sure that they are ascending, and I cannot say that that is not the case, but maybe not all people. Um, so there is such a thing called ascension sickness, and it may not have anything to do with anything spiritual, though. Okay, it might, but in essence, it's just it doesn't necessarily mean like ascension and wisdom and growth potential. Um, so I just see so much squabbling and bickering. There is a force being exerted on humankind. Believe me or don't believe me. But anyone is around me for with any kind of recording equipment. Okay. I am trying to be very cautious about that too, because some people don't really want to be filmed. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not sure I want to really be too sneaky, because given the less typical, sort of thinking of maybe, you know, magical people or people who are in tune with a certain like element or uh you know you name it. um there are some of us who somebody has to take the hit. Okay. Me, prepaid by the Holy Lord Jesus, which that's for every human. It is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you're praying to. It's okay. Meant for everybody. That was meant for all humankind. And whether that's the point, it's like whether you accept it or not, there are some situations that seem to be in deadly dark, angry, no conscience kind of living something that is exerting influence. And I don't think it's a human, but evidence of it. Okay. Trust me when I tell you, it will not take long. The evidence of it, there are actual, real female human beings who, right? One of them, quite literally, I live like 2, 3 blocks away, and then I moved. Ow! Ow! No one anywhere near her. Do you understand? Screaming in pain. Somebody make it stop. This individual does not have any kind of physical anomaly that would cause her that kind of agony. So people do need to kind of rethink some things. And perhaps people who have difficulty controlling emotions. Well, I'm not going to tell you one way or the other, but no, you can't be in charge. No, you can't have certain kind of power. So maybe some of the nepotism needs to be rethunk sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Get what I'm saying? Um, there's evidence of things that started happening when I started taking hits, like in that freaking documentary. For real, no shit. And I have no idea why. But I did try to go for help. Quite literally, I couldn't even get up off the couch. I had like no energy or motive to even pick up the phone most of the time. Like, I didn't care. I couldn't. Why? It wasn't me. Nothing I could do about it. So I was in literally that kind of situation where, you know, every so often I could do some things and get out and like, but anyway, so of course I've talked to therapists and psychiatrists. I mean, even if you may not agree or understand what they're getting at or why they ask you or what they're doing, you know, it's good to check different perspectives. Just anyway, in general, sometimes. But that's why this, for me, is a full blown fucking life threatening, yep, serious matter to me, who would never have ever thought, ever, that what has happened to me could ever possibly happen to a human being. So I know some things are real, people. Unfortunately, evidence will come, but I don't want that evidence to be, you know, more severe harm to me. But it's all very similar, some of the things. So I'm keeping my eyes open. But where am I going to run? See what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't want to run. Fuck running. Fuck moving. I don't care really what anybody's big plan for me is if it's going to cause such severe trauma and pain that I was all for killing myself in every possible way. That was the goal. The research was done. I had everything all planned out. There was no part of me or anything to actually counteract that. So, you know, I quite literally didn't know what to say to people. I mean, obviously, I was praying and reading and studying and doing other things, but for the most part, there were times where I did not totally conscious, but there's nothing I could do about it. And I don't bend in certain ways either, so you know. But it was bad enough that quite literally in my apartment, I had water, I had a shower, I had soap, I had everything that I needed. But the hell if I could clean myself even. Yeah, it's a bit of an emergency for me. And I'm concerned that this is happening to other people or could happen to someone else And so I don't care if I seem difficult, but that is what happened to me. So if anybody wants to know, "Well, what happened to you? Didn't, ha ha ha, you been hiding or what?" No, and I can take some fucking hits. Real, true reality. One little person's life, and apparently someone else's. Real and true situation on Earth. I'm not dealing with anything that has any kind of conscience, is all I can tell you. But I always have an archangel near me now at all times. But I need help understanding why that would happen to anybody, but including me, who never fucking touched a single thing that had anything to do with that, as far as I know. That's a pretty big mystery. It is anomalous and actual real pain and trauma mentally and physically have occurred to me in ways I won't hardly talk about. So in online, in I won't. It'll go to my fucking grave, and it'll fucking stay there and never rise up again. There's nothing for me worth fighting for. That shit happened to me again. So there are people who can say that spirits can't hurt you, and I hear you. Most of the time, I don't have issues like that. But then this wasn't a spirit then. Yep. And it's still living. Whatever. But there are bound to be some anomalous researchers. There are bound to be some people who may have studied divvy boxes or had, yes, well, I know that there's some people who've had firsthand of some things. And they probably don't want to be talking to people. Or maybe they do because they want to get rich. I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. But I'm not asking anybody to give me money for this. Okay? So somebody can complain later. Those things are the reason why I just kind of fell off the radar. But I can say um, sitting on hospitals and people trying to shove medications in me, and the whole time, like, I know I don't need these medications. Well, now you're fucking up all my chemicals and hurting my body, but you're all just going to be adamant. You'd rather kill someone with unspiritual, pure biology with no other considerations than actually understand that there are spirits. The Holy Spirit is one of them, and there are other opposing forces. But that is a true story. Much of what was in that documentary was happening to me. and I'd be all right here and there, and I could pick up consciousness, and I never lost consciousness. And, you know, armored up. So, of course, I have a story to tell. The reason why I just do a video because I just can't talk about it anymore. I wrote about the very ugly truth of the death of my twin boy children, and you know, all the wreck up physically and every other kind of way. You know, Major Fritz H.A. Luth, retired deceased, who actually had to die and be revived. And various other sundry things. So when I get very determined, and it's because, nope, I got proof. Nope, I got proof. Nope, this can't happen. Nope. What if it's happened to somebody else besides me? That, you understand? That may not have been reported, or just, anyone doing investigations, churches, whatever, anyone, right, may not be speaking to each other, so you don't know. But some cases may be really similar. But for me, that's why I had an immediate bam, bam, bam turnaround. Like, holy fuck. I am highly alarmed because, yep, I was in shock when I was watching it. And I guess I was trying to do that protective thing. The mind will do that sometimes to protect you. Just complete denial. Like, that only happened to him. That couldn't have been what happened to me. But essentially, which is why the immediate concern, because, like, well, did it get put back in its, how does it work? Is that, what does it want with me? What's happening? And why is it starting back again? That's why the emergency. Because it's already, yes, caused me serious trauma that I would never want another human being to ever have to go through. And I'm 100% sure, that at this juncture, I can say, yep, the females in my building are also being affected. So I will just keep notes, some paranormal things. This one, I wasn't really worried about it last night, but pretty much all my new batteries are drained. And there were two, here that I had just put in, and they're drained. That's just, few electronic things may or may not relate, but it's good to know these things. But I don't ever get angry with people so much as I do determined sometimes to squeeze in somehow a perspective that might save somebody's motherfucking life. So that's what I'm gonna do. But anomalous research has always been interesting to me because there are some things that sometimes don't seem to add up. And there are some things that over time were actually found to be, oh, wait, we were so sure it was like this. But then, yes, repeatable, undeniable, earth based science, repeatable. That's a constant, repeatable truth on earth. So, all I can do for the left handed path is because just my condition and certain other things is, I mean, I can do a few things. It's not like I've forgotten how to do a lot of things, but I'm I'm not. I don't care. I don't care about anybody's religious war. Right? And there's boatloads of things that can be done just slightly differently that are already available, but they just need to be adjusted and looked at a little bit differently. That save a lot of time, money, energy, agony, misery, anguish, defeat, and death, and promote health on a wide scale. I'm not going to ever apologize to anybody because I care. I mean, too bad. Not going to get it. But that is why I'm having an issue, and it is why I've been trying to, a few contacts here and there, because like to prove right, I know that there is a presence for sure in this apartment with me, and uh, so I'm sure certain equipment definitely, you know, go a long way to, yeah, like picking it up, identifying it, certain things, and so I don't have that equipment. And yeah, I was actually, before I got evicted because just whatever it was, whatever's happening, whatever's still happening, if it's still right, just wouldn't let me. So yeah, absolutely irrational. But it's also, yes, irrational when you look at, you know, psychological. If you were to look at abnormal psychology, it's even abnormal for abnormal psychology. Okay. I didn't have a few, I know, right? Get it? Okay. But I'm a spiritual person. I was praying my face off, but physical things were happening to me. And I was the only one in that apartment. This is not some, crazy. No, no, no. So that's what I can say why I would ask anyone who might have the time and that kind of equipment to pick up whatever, because I know it's got to be perceivable with some of the things that some of the paranormal specialists and investigators do. But just alone, just my sleep alone, and that's another reason why taking the pill isn't going to do shit for me at all. So I did talk to Dr. Kelly. But once it started coming out, well, ask the doctor to give you. I'm like, hey, I did provide a synopsis, and there's not a single doctor anywhere near me that would have any freaking clue other than what's already been discussed medically. So, you know, I'm sure there are somebody interesting connection in the first place. But that is my worry. I mean, did you put back? I mean, it quite literally just kept at me until I was fully prepared without any feelings or thoughts or nothing human in me. It just was a really good idea to kill myself. And there was nothing I could do to stop it. So, this is different from your human based, human level, earth level mental struggles. And I'm aware of them. Everybody needs to know. Okay. I checked with, and I'm not worried about childhood trauma because I dealt with all that. It's none of that. I am not reliving a past life. There's numerous thoughts, theories, and possibilities and realities, and some of them are real and true. They're just not easy to see or they're not explained. But, I mean, just even thinking about it or talking about it, but that's knocked it loose. That's why suddenly I'm like, where's the David? Like, because that was shown in that documentary, whatever it was, where something happening to me. And there is a distinct possibility that something that I'm getting injuries that may not be Parkinson's related. That's what I'm saying. So I keep them separate, and I'm used to enough that whatever stage I am, Parkinsonism, I mean, there's more stuff that needs to happen to figure out, like, okay, but none of it was hallucinated. None of it. So I'm still asking for help. Anybody who's an anomalous researcher, paranormal researcher, there is evidence here of some activity, and I'm just trying to keep track of it. And you know, I'm getting pushed and pulled in many different directions, and I'm getting tired of that too. So most people would want to like try to make money, or most people would try to be like, "Look at me! Look at how special I am because I have attention. This thing attacked me." And I'm sitting here thinking, why the fuck is there something like that even possible happen to a human being? And the regular psychologists, please have a seat. I hear you, but not a clinician in the world's going to be able to rationalize this one. Get it? So I need help. When I'm scared, I'm afraid that it's going to happen to me again. And now there might be a better understanding of what I'm talking about happening to me again. And there's not a single pill that can help me with that. Sometimes it really does. It feels like my neck is stretching out, and like from here to here, there's occasionally something moving. All I can do is just get out as much as I can and pray and pray and pray. I've been praying for years for help. But yet still nothing. Anyway, I have to get do some things, get some things together. I can't sit here. I've actually had a good day. Not a lot of movements anyway, but I can feel like they're starting to kick up anyway, so I can't stay seated for this long. But that's why I'm saying, just guess, I guess it doesn't matter to the universe or actual real human beings or people who, you know, try to maybe remove whatever kind of living creature does shit like that to people. Somebody's gotta give a shit. Like, please. But I have to stay offline. I mean, I'm not gonna go through a bunch of crap for any particular reason. People do tend to like to fuck with people online, not really give me a shit who they're hurting. But I disagree with the way many are, and many who may see this and hear me say it's like, well, I do disagree with you, and I hope your life gets better, and I'll pray for you. But the witches and Wiccans are who who said I was the enemy of the Holy Lord Jesus Christ? Nobody. Okay, still still part of the family tree. Just our skills are more home, and I've been an outwigger for years. Wiccan, okay. I do differentiate between witch and Wiccan only because, great, I don't know, it doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a shit? But there are people who think that for some reason that is not acceptable when some of us do it through Christ. So I think there are a lot of people who need a truth and reality check that might suck a little, but after it's done, it won't. I need, I was trying to get a research grant. I got evicted. I just didn't even care anymore. I ran out of money, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. But it wasn't like deep, deep depression. No, because like something else was happening. And I wasn't in some, yeah. My neighbors would, yes, wonder, you never come out. I mean, what's the, you know what I mean? But yeah, who cares? Nobody gives a shit about me. I didn't get to have a childhood, but nobody really gives a shit about me, and nobody wants to be perceptive enough to even give a shit to try. And, a lot of people got a lot of problems. Yeah, well, so do I. But I can guarantee you, vast majority of the human population certainly has not had a problem like that seen in a documentary about a fucking Dybbuk box. But I have. And the fuck if I'm gonna let it happen again? I wasn't even looking. I just happened to be open because I was helping somebody. Sorry will never be enough. But you people want to vamp on a freaking story, I suggest you do it now. Because that's what you do. I was interested more in scientific and the actual. I know that, yep, activities gonna keep ramping up here, and no one comes, I will continue to be harmed, and I can guarantee you that is the case. So somebody can be a freaking stand-up goddamn guy about this. Okay, I didn't have an address to get a reply from a grant because I was just for hours at a time. Not to mention some of the more gross sexual content that's not going to be talked about here. Somebody can help me. Somebody's going to see this. I can't pray anymore, God. So, put up or shut up.